Hola putatas, welcome back to my channel. But today I'm going to be talking about the application process for applying to summer camps and how it works, what the agencies are, what the application looks like, what the interview is like, what orientation is like, what the costs are like, and everything like that. So I'm going to start. I'll start with the first step you apply to summer camp is to pick an agency. So the agency basically sponsors your visa, they get you matched up with a camp, they basically sort out everything. So you need to apply with an agency. And there are many agencies out there. You've got Americamp, you've got Camp America, Camp Leaders, BUNAC, and probably more. But I'll tell you about the ones I've been with, but also do your own research, make your own decision, because some of them are slightly different, but they all basically do the same thing. So my first year, it was 2022, I went with Camp America and they were really good. Like I had a really good time, like I can't fault them. But my second year, because while I was like in the lead up to go to my camp in my first year, I was like watching YouTube videos and everything and TikToks, I realized that different agencies paid different amount. They guarantee you like different amounts to pay from camps. And my first year, I didn't really even know I was going to get paid. Like I wasn't really interested in that. But after going to camp and traveling, I realized that if I want to travel further, like I wanted to go to California, I was going to need higher pay because I wasn't bringing that much money from home. So anyway, back to the agency thing. My second year, I went with Americamp, and very similar to Camp America, they essentially do the same thing. But as a first-time counsellor, you're guaranteed at least $2,000 minimum. So that meant I could go to more states, I could do more travelling after camp, which is a big plus. Also, Americamp have really low fees as well. Right now, early bird offer, I'm gonna show you guys my discount code because why not? Lorraine 30 will get you £30 off, and they already have let me do some maths. They already have a £60 off offer at the moment, so you can save £90 if you apply now. So that's really good. But yeah, definitely when you pick your agency, check how much they pay, check how much the costs are, check if flights are included, if that's something you care about. I don't really mind if flights are included or not because I can book a flight, it's not that hard. Skyscanner, but anyway, with Americamp, flights are not included. So that is something you need to pay for yourself. But I think it's quite good that you can book your own flights because you can like change them as you go. You could book a one way if you're not sure where you're going to end up, and like you can sort them out yourself. So it's pretty chill. Okay, next thing, once you've got your agencies, the applications are pretty similar for both Camp America and Americamp. So for my application, I had to put some like background information about myself, like where I live, like where I'm from, what I enjoy doing, what my family life is like, what I'm doing at uni, that kind of thing. You also have a skills section where you put your 3 like top skills, and you put why you want to do them, how long you've been doing them for, how you would teach at camp, that kind of thing. So I did like tennis, table tennis, I think I got ultimate frisbee third, maybe, I don't know. But you don't have to be like sick at all of them, just like maybe put one thing that you like would be happy to teach, because that's what the camps are going to see when they put your profile out there. There's another section and it basically asks you why you want to work at summer camp and why you think you'd be like good at it. And what else do we have? 2 references. You have to provide a name and email of 2 references that would write you a reference to say you'd be good at the job. And you have an interview with the Americamp. The interview is like, it's very informal, it's not very scary, so like don't be worried about that. That part is more it's like asking you why you want to do it. They do a few like scenarios, like what would you do if a kid like wet the bed or something. I didn't get asked that, mine was slightly different, but like that kind of thing, just to know like what kind of counsellor you would be. So yeah, I would say don't stress about the interview, be yourself, be, like act like you would at camp, What else? How do you get hired? So once your application is finished and everything's one more part of the application that I didn't mention. Actually, I'll mention this later. It comes after. Your application will be sent through, and then you have to submit a health form. So your agency will have the a health form that you have to print out and take to your GP, and they need to like sign a couple things, and it's basically to say you're like fit and healthy to go to camp. And these can cost money. Mine was free last year because I changed GP. I went to GP in London because that's where my uni is, but my first year it cost like £70. So yeah, the cost will vary. Hopefully for you guys it will be free, who knows. And you also have to do a DBS check, which you can add on when you apply. It's like £60 extra. But yeah, those are two things I thought I should mention. But yeah, how do you get hired? You basically, your agency will put your profile like live, and then the camps that are looking for people to hire can read your profile, and then if they want to interview you, they'll send you an email. You can research their camp before the interview, and then they'll ask you questions. You ask them questions. When you have an interview with camp, it's very important to ask your own questions, because you're also like interviewing them, because you want to know, is this somewhere you're going to live for 2 months? Is this somewhere you feel like you'd be comfortable? That sort of thing. Another way you can get hired, which is actually my favourite way, is by going to one of the camp fairs. So these are in person. They held one in Manchester, London. There might be a few others, but I'm not sure. And you can go there, and loads of camps will be like set up, and they'll have their little stalls, and they'll have maybe a camp director or one of the counsellors there, and you basically chat with them. They tell you all about their camp, you tell them a bit about yourself, and you have a chat. And basically by the end of this little mini interview, you can have a job. So you can speak to a bunch of different camps, sort of get a feel of what kind of camp you'd like to go to, and you can get hired on the day. You can get hired on the day. It's so good. That's how I got hired with Americamp. I spoke to 2 camps. I spoke to this one random camp, and I was like, okay, sounds good. But I wasn't convinced. So I spoke to my camp, and like halfway through the interview, I had goosebumps. I was like, this sounds so good. And then I had the job. So that was really fun. Anyway, so after you're hired, there's pretty much 2 things left to do. One is to get the visa. The visa is, I wrote this down actually for you guys, £146. And after you like apply for your visa, you have to go to the US Embassy for an appointment. There's one in Belfast and one in London as well. So I went to one in London, and the interview's also very chill. Like, you show them all your forms that you've printed out. They ask you do your fingerprints as well. They ask you like, what camp are you going to, what job are you going to be doing there. One asked me like, do you know your rights? And I was like, yeah. And that's pretty much it. They say your visa's approved, and then your passport like can either be delivered to you or you can go pick it up. But yeah, I got my passport back today actually, so excited. And then what's next? Orientation. So before you go off to camp, you have an orientation in the UK, which your agency will like arrange, and they basically tell you everything you need to know. They tell you like all the safety things, like child safety, your own safety, what the US laws are like to do with drinking, things that might get you fired, so you can avoid that. They tell you, what else? It's just like everything you need to know session before you go. So those are really useful. They're really fun as well. You can meet people who are also going to camp. And what's next? I'm going to go through all the costs now, because I feel like I've explained the whole process, but so you guys can do some maths if you've got your notebooks out. So background check, £65. Americamp fees at the moment, £309 with Lorraine 30. Visas, £146. Health form, 0 to however much your GP feels like charging you. And then flights, this year they're like around £600, but it depends what state you're flying to, when you fly out. If you fly out in May, then it's probably like easier because it's not summer holidays yet. But if you fly out in June, it's a bit expensive. But anyway, oh, also you need to be over 18. You need to be free June to August. Yeah, I think that covers everything. I hope this was useful, and I will see you in the next video. It's going to be packing related, I think, because I want to start packing even though I'm going in like a month. But anyway, thanks for watching. Go like and subscribe. Bye!